So what we're going to talk about today is the fun factor. There's people who are organizationally gifted and organizationally challenged, and I know you know them. I know that you've gone into people's homes that have been just beautifully organized, always clean. You could stop by at any time and they don't have to apologize for anything or pick something up or anything like that. We've all been in a situation where we've gone by somebody's house, randomly, or they just, we called them up or something and said, yeah, just stop by. And we've wondered, how do they do it? How does their house stay so together and they don't have to rush around before somebody comes in, cleaning up and making things look neat for everybody? We think that, it must be some sort of a gene or something that they have. And, I'm kind of in agreement with that there is something in some people that just make them more predisposed to being able to be neat and orderly. And the fact is that it's true. People who are more right-brained than left-brained, they are motivated by fun and happy. And if it isn't fun, we don't want to do it. People who are more left-brained, they are administrative, task-oriented. They're able to break things down. Now, we know that both kinds of people are necessary in this world, right? We know it. Because we, organizationally challenged people, we can stop, drop, and run for anything. The organizationally gifted people, it's not so easy for them. They really have to say, well, no, sorry, I can't do that now. Which, of course, we need that, but we also need us. We don't want to change who we are because, we like the fact that we're spontaneous. Pam Young, Peggy Jones, they coined the phrase for slob being spontaneous, lighthearted, optimistic, and beloved. That's what we are. Most of the reason that we are so beloved is because we do stop, drop, and run for just about anybody, anytime. And we do need to pull back on some of those things that are part of our personality that doesn't really serve us so well. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, let me check my planner, So that's kind of some of the things that we need to do so that we can still be that spontaneous, lighthearted individuals that we are without being thrown under the bus all the time because of our lighthearted and optimistic personalities. So I'm going to look at my notes here, and because I did this just before I set this up so that I wouldn't ramble, okay? All right, so to find out about the happy factor. All right, happy factor is a big deal. We talk about this in my course. We need to feel good about what it is that we're doing, because if we don't want to do it. If it's not fun, we don't want to do it. We have to recognize that. And one of the reasons that we find it so difficult to learn how to be organized by those organizationally, gifted gurus out there is because they don't know how to talk to us. They don't understand that if we feel really crappy, we don't think that we can get anything done. If something really devastating has happened in an organizationally gifted person's life, they still go about their day normally. They'll feel the grief if say they lost somebody that they love. They'll feel the grief. All the emotions will be the same as ours as far as how it feels to lose someone. But they don't connect their behavior, their actions with how they feel. We do. So they will still get up from dinner, put away the dishes, wash the dishes. They'll still wake up, make their bed, get themselves ready in the morning. They still clean up after themselves when they're done with whatever. If they have some sort of a chore to do or something that is an appointment or something, they'll continue on with the necessities. Whereas the organizationally challenged people, what we do is we feel some real connection to how we feel and what we do. So we think, I can't get to that. Look at what just happened. Look at what just happened in my life. That's why so many times if we'll have company or something, we'll say, don't mind the mess, such and such just happened, and, X, Y, and Z. We come across all. But we know that there's so many people who have had the same kind of trauma in their lives, and their house isn't a wreck because of it. See, the thing is that we have to recognize that we need to have something that connects the event with just having to do it. We need to understand that we are not dissing the memory of someone or belittling something that just happened in our lives because we're getting stuff together. Sometimes all we need is that realization. Sometimes all we need is that knowing. Oh, I see. I will still be completely in respect and reverence of that person, even if I clean up and I continue on with doing the things that I need to do. Sometimes that's all we need is that. But it doesn't always have to be a devastating event. It could just be something that is just not fun. It just has no joy in it. Because we're right-brained, let me show you a picture. You see that? Okay. The right side of the brain, it's all about intuition, love, art, beauty, freedom, passion, creativity, yearning. That's what powers the right brain. We are that. That's who we are. So when things are not fun, when things are just dutiful, we can't muster up the freaking motivation or the energy to do it. Okay, I have to interrupt for a second. You're going to see the screen that part of my head is cut off because I didn't notice it when I moved, and so that's just what's going on there. I was going to just not share this video, but I decided to share it anyway, and if seeing me that way bothers you, then pretend it's a podcast, don't watch, and just listen. Thanks. We would need some kind of like an adrenaline rush, and we know what that's all about, right? We have no energy to do anything. It just seems like such a drag. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. And then suddenly there's a phone call. Your sister-in-law is 3 miles away, and she'll be over in 10 minutes. And she needs to use your bathroom desperately. And now, all of a sudden, 5 minutes ago, there was zero energy to do anything. Now, all of a sudden, you've got plenty of energy. Why is that? Because we need something to trigger us to do things. And the organizationally gifted person, look at the side of their brain. Logic, analytical, accurate, reason, numbers, practical, strategic. They're all about control. They're very decisive. It's the administrative side of the brain. That's what it is. So they don't have to have this, crazy amount of something clicking to get them to do it. Just because it has to be done is good enough for them. So we have to realize that we need something different. We need to follow something different. We need a way to trigger happy. We need a way to trigger duty. We need a way to trigger the getting stuff done without that adrenaline rush. Because that adrenaline rush, it's dangerous, really, because it's there to protect us. That adrenaline rush is there so that if we're in danger, that we have the ability to be stronger than we were before, have more motivation than we were before. If there's a bear running down the street, or we see a bear and we need to get off, that fight and flight thing, that's where that comes from. We're not supposed to be living constantly in that. That's just dangerous to us. It screws up our adrenals. It's not good for us. So we don't want to trigger in us the kind of motivation that is like danger, like, oh, so-and-so's coming, I better get all this adrenaline and get myself going. We don't have to do that. What we have to do is have a plan, have something to click off. Clicking off things gives us a shot of dopamine that we need, that happy factor. Also, there's things that we can do to trick ourselves into getting something done that normally we wouldn't want to do. Like, say you're painting a room. Now, an organizationally gifted person would paint the room by taking everything down, maybe putting everything in the middle, covering up with a tarp, finishing the room, putting everything back. Well, you know how it is for us. We like to start things, but we don't like to finish them. So something that would work for us is we paint the two walls, that one of the walls that have the windows on it, and another wall that we have to hang some picture on or something like that, something that we could decorate or put the furniture up against, because there's happy involved in that. There's the stuff that makes us feel good involved in that portion of it. Plus, we get bored with things really easy. That's another thing with us. They can go a lot longer than we can without getting bored. We can't. We get bored really easy. So this gives it the breakup that takes away that boredom. It also gives it the happy that helps us want to keep going, to give us that feeling that we got when we first started the project. So if we do the two walls, one with the window, one with the wall where we have to hang things, then by the time we're done with the second wall, the first wall is ready, the paint is dry. We could hang the curtains, we can push the furniture back. With that other wall, we can hang the picture that we wanted. That gives us that feeling of the determination that we had when we first started to keep the job going. Because there's creativity involved in that. It's almost like a story that we're telling. We're going to create a vision. This is what I want it to be. We're going to make a plan for it. Then we're going to have in the back of our mind the knowing how many other things, the ripple effect that we'll have, or how many other things will be affected because we're doing this now. See what I mean? And then also there's a camaraderie. We love to be together. We don't really like to work alone. Although I do like to clean by myself, I like to actually be connected to people somehow while I'm doing it. You know, years ago you used to have that long phone cord and you'd talk on the phone while you were getting stuff done. Or maybe have a movie on. This is another thing that could help you to get something done in the house that you don't really like to do. Put on a movie that you don't have to watch. Now, it can't be something that you've never seen before. It can't be a show you've never seen before. It has to be a movie that you've seen like a million times, or a TV show that you've seen a million times that you really like I Love Lucy or Seinfeld, or say a movie like You've Got Mail is a movie I've seen a billion times. I don't have to see it to appreciate it. So I won't have to be like glued to the TV or stop myself to distract myself to watch it. I can have that in the background while I'm doing stuff. It adds the happy factor in it. It triggers some of that right-brained stuff that we need to get stuff done while we're doing the work. It's another thing that we could do to trigger that. So I'm going to look at my notes. And so that, let me get there. Notes, where are you? NOTES. And if you have any questions, during this, then please pop them in the chat, okay? If you've gotten this in an email, because I'll send this out as an email, and you have any questions, then hit reply, and I will talk to you about it, all right? I may put this on YouTube, and if I do, then put it in the comments, okay? All right, so here, let's see. All right, so right brain, we're motivated by happy. Left brain are motivated by duty. Needing to do it for us is never enough. We have to add more to that. We need to have an element of fun and expectation in what it is that we're doing. And if we could find that and we could realize that, there's nothing wrong with us, because I know that you have picked up those magazines that are at the checkout, where it's like, 52 things to do or 12 things to do that will make you, get your house together or something. And you pick them up because you think, oh, good, here's the magic something. And you pick it up and then you're like, what? And that's why we don't get it. Because they're coming at it at a different angle. They're coming at it at an angle where they think that we actually want to scrub the oven, or we don't really want that. We just want what it'll get us. So yeah, they don't get us, and that's why that has never really been able to do what it is that it promises to do, because it's coming at us at an angle that we just don't get, because they don't get us. All right, thanks for being with me, and I'll see you next time. If you like these videos and you want me to make more, please show me that you do by clicking like and subscribing. I really appreciate it. See you next time.